My parents asked me to show her the room upstairs that had been prepared for her. I remembered from the plot that at this point, everyone in the family should have already heard Lily's thoughts. They were waiting to see if things would unfold the way she said they would. I was about to try to break the plot and do something unexpected, but suddenly, my body slipped, and I found myself tumbling down the stairs uncontrollably. As I rolled down the stairs and hit the floor, I noticed the look in my parents' and James' eyes. There was a clear trace of disappointment there. They were all waiting for me to say something, but no one came to help me. I had to slowly stand up on my own. Feeling embarrassed, I weakly apologized. It's okay. I didn't eat enough this morning. Just low blood sugar. Lily, looking surprised, asked, "You're trying to say I pushed you, aren't you? You don't even know why. And you just want mom and dad not to be mad, right?" My parents and James looked at me with suspicion in their eyes, and I just leaned against the wall, weakly retorting, "Did you not hear me or what?" It was the low blood sugar. Then, I looked at James pitifully. "I'll get better soon. I don't want to be unable to provide blood when you need it." James and my parents, hearing this, immediately came over to help me up, their faces filled with concern. Lily had taken my room, but in exchange, my parents gave me a luxurious suite. 18 years ago, Lily, their biological daughter, was kidnapped by bad people, and my parents were devastated. To cope with the grief, they adopted me from an orphanage, since I also had a rare blood type. For the past 18 years, they had treated me like their own daughter, nurturing and pampering me. But their love for me wasn't without an ulterior motive. First, they wanted me to help run Davis Enterprises, and second, I was meant to be James' personal blood donor. James loved racing, and as a professional driver, he often got injured during his races. Whenever he needed a blood transfusion, it was always me who provided it. That was why my parents doted on me so much, and why James treated me like his own sister. Mom gently pulled me aside. "Sophia, your health isn't great. You can have the suite on the first floor from now on." In the original plot, when Lily was first brought back, the family hadn't had time to prepare her room yet. The original Sophia, wanting to show her family how considerate and generous she was, offered her own room to Lily, even though she planned to stay in the storage room to play the martyr and gain their sympathy. But this time, instead of offering my room, Mom gave me the largest room, the suite, on the first floor, the one where they used to read and write. Lily could already feel the drama unfolding in her mind. She's definitely going to refuse, Lily thought. She'll insist she's just an outsider and keep pretending to be the victim, staying in the storage room. Hearing Lily's thoughts, my parents and James all looked awkward, waiting for my reaction. I hugged Mom happily, acting like a spoiled child. "Mom, you're the best. I love you the most. I'll take the suite downstairs. It's more convenient, and it'll be closer to James." My parents and James' rooms were on the first floor, so now I was moving down too. Lily would be the only one left upstairs. She seemed confused that I hadn't followed the script. Grabbing my arm, she demanded, "You were supposed to refuse and insist on staying in the storage room. Why the sudden change of heart?" She couldn't understand why I wasn't sticking to the expected lines. I had realized something too. When it came to crucial plot points, my actions would be uncontrollable and follow the script. But what I said was entirely under my control. "Stay in the storage room?" I replied, leaning back. "Why would I want to stay there when I have a perfectly good suite?" Everyone looked at Lily with confusion. Unable to handle the pressure, she angrily shoved me. From Lily's thoughts, I could tell my family was starting to get suspicious of me. "This doesn't make sense," she thought. "You're not even their real child. Why have you lived as me for the past 10 years? I come back, and suddenly you get the suite? Are you trying to humiliate me? Why did you even bring me back?" She lashed out at my parents and James, venting all the grievances she'd carried for years. But the fact that she went missing had nothing to do with me. I was just adopted later, after all. James, feeling sorry for me, helped me up from the floor and snapped at Lily, "Don't take it too far. You can't just throw tantrums and push people around. Where's your manners? I bet you did push Sophia just now." Lily, having grown up in a small town with poor manners, wasn't about to let James' words slide. She started cursing him out in response. It was all becoming too much for my parents, especially Dad. "Enough," he shouted. "The most important thing is that Sophia gets better. She'll stay on the first floor. The entire second floor is yours, Lily. You can design it however you like. Is that fair now?" James snorted in disbelief, and Mom wiped away her tears. When Lily heard that the entire second floor was hers, the space was several times bigger than my own, she had nothing left to say. The house would soon be undergoing renovations, and my suite would just be rearranged as it was. But Lily's second floor was going to be a huge project. She insisted on a walk-in closet, a study, and a separate bathroom. The noise from the construction made the entire house uneasy. Aside from a few arguments with James, no one really called her out on it. It took over half a month before the renovations were finally done. Lily now had her room, but her closet was still empty, so Mom gave her a card with her allowance for the year. "Lily," she said softly, "I've been giving Sophia and James $1 million a year as pocket money. We've missed out on those 18 years with you, so we want to make it right. There is $20 million, and you can spend it however you like." Lily refused the card, her voice cold. "Lost affection can't be replaced with money. I don't want your money." James, who had been looking at his phone, snorted. "How high and mighty. If she doesn't want it, just give it to Sophia." Lily's thoughts turned bitter. "Give it to her. Go ahead, give it all to her. You think Sophia's some kind of good person? She's about to sabotage James in his next race. When he's fighting for his life after a crash, she'll pull some pity play and donate blood, gaining all your trust. Then, once you've given her all of Davis Enterprises' assets, she'll ditch you. You'll be left begging on the streets." Hearing her thoughts, James hesitated as he handed me the card. Mom and Dad exchanged a wary glance. The story forced me into a situation where I had to steal something and set Lily up, and when I was caught, I could feel the cold sweat running down my back. But I remained calm. I pulled out the card Mom and Dad had previously given me and handed it to Lily. "You said I've been living in your place for the past 10 years. If you won't take what they gave you, how about you take this card from me?" Lily shot me a glare and then snatched the card from my hand without hesitation. "It's mine to begin with. You should have given it back." Mom and Dad's wariness began to fade. James realized how close he'd come to believing Lily's words and, feeling guilty, pulled out his own card. "Sophia, don't let her get to you. If you need money, use my card. We can share." I smiled and accepted his offer. I couldn't understand why the original Sophia would go out of her way to hurt this brother brother who was so partial to her. Why couldn't she just live a happy, normal life like any ordinary person? Why did she have to stir up trouble? The next day, Mom took Lily and me to the mall. According to the plot, I would initially eagerly pick out all kinds of expensive clothes and jewelry for Lily, but just as we were leaving the store, I would secretly hide something in Lily's bag to embarrass her. As the story forced me into a certain action, I found myself unable to control my body as it quietly slipped a beautiful, pricey watch into Lily's bag. I wanted to head to the counter to pay, but I couldn't move a muscle. Lily, noticing something was off, started to think to herself, Sophia just looks down on me for growing up in a small town. She's trying to plant stolen goods in my bag to make me look bad and accuse me of being unrefined. Mom saw the strange expression on my face and started to suspect something was wrong. Lily, now aware of the situation, grabbed her bag and said, let's go. She dragged both me and Mom toward the store's exit, and sure enough, the alarm went off as we passed through the door. Mom looked at me, her eyes wide with disbelief. The store clerks quickly blocked our way. Excuse me, but could you please stop and check if there are any unpaid items in your bags? I could feel the cold sweat on my forehead, my heart pounding in my chest. Lily smirked, looking at me with a wicked gleam in her eyes. I don't know. Why don't we check our bags? The clerk first searched her bag, and sure enough, found the expensive watch tucked into a hidden compartment, with the price tag still attached. Mom, stunned, pointed at the watch with trembling hands. This watch isn't. Before she could finish, the clerk cut her off.